In the heart of Tuscany lies a city whose streets echo with the footsteps of artists, visionaries, and thinkers. A city that played a pivotal role in ushering in a new era of art, culture, and design. Florence, during the Renaissance, became a living canvas, transforming the very fabric of its urban landscape through the birth and blossoming of Renaissance architecture. The Renaissance, meaning rebirth, marked a profound shift in European history. Emerging in the 14th century and flourishing through the 15th and 16th centuries, this period signaled a departure from the medieval Gothic styles that had dominated for centuries. Instead, architects and patrons in Florence looked back to the classical ideals of ancient Greece and Rome, seeking harmony, proportion, and beauty in their built environment. Florence's transformation began with a new way of thinking about space, geometry, and the human experience. The city's architects, inspired by the rediscovery of Vitruvius's ancient treatises and a renewed interest in mathematics, envisioned buildings that balanced form with function and ornament with order. One cannot speak of Renaissance architecture in Florence without mentioning Filippo Brunelleschi, a goldsmith-turned-architect whose genius would alter the city skyline forever. Brunelleschi's most celebrated achievement is the magnificent dome of Santa Maria del Fiore, the Florence Cathedral. For over a century, the cathedral's vast crossing had stood open, as no one could devise a way to span the immense space without the use of cumbersome Gothic buttresses. Brunelleschi's solution was revolutionary: an ingenious double-shell dome constructed without external supports, utilizing a herringbone pattern for the bricks and a series of horizontal and vertical ribs. Rising elegantly above the city, the dome became a symbol not only of Florence's spiritual aspirations, but also of human ingenuity and the limitless possibilities of the new age. The spirit of innovation did not stop at the cathedral. Brunelleschi's influence extended to religious and civic architecture throughout Florence. At the Ospedale degli Innocenti, or Hospital of the Innocents, he introduced a graceful loggia, a covered arcade supported by slender columns and crowned with rounded arches. The building's facade, with its harmonious proportions and use of classical motifs such as Corinthian capitals and entablatures, set a new standard for public architecture. It was both functional, serving as a shelter for orphaned children, and beautiful, reflecting the city's commitment to civic pride and the welfare of its people. In the churches of Florence, the Renaissance brought clarity and light where once there had been darkness and mystery. San Lorenzo and Santo Spirito, both designed by Brunelleschi, exemplify this new approach. Their interiors are marked by a grid of columns and arches, creating a sense of order and rhythm. The plain walls are punctuated by large windows, allowing sunlight to pour in, illuminating the carefully crafted details and filling the space with a sense of serenity. Here, the human scale takes precedence. Spaces are designed not to inspire awe through grandeur alone, but to foster contemplation and community. Palaces, too, became canvases for Renaissance ideals. The Medici family, Florence's most influential patrons, commissioned the Palazzo Medici Riccardi, designed by Michelozzo di Bartolomeo. Breaking from the fortress-like austerity of medieval homes, this palace featured rusticated stone on the ground floor, smoother masonry above, and a series of cornices that divided the facade into harmonious layers. The central courtyard, open to the sky, provided a private oasis, reflecting the growing emphasis on comfort, privacy, and the pleasures of domestic life. This palazzo became a model for urban residences, influencing the design of countless homes throughout Italy and beyond. Public spaces also underwent a transformation. The loggias, open-sided galleries, became gathering places for citizens, markets, and celebrations. The Loggia dei Lanzi, with its elegant arches and sculptural decorations, remains a testament to the city's dedication to civic beauty and engagement. The careful planning of piazzas, such as Piazza della Signoria, encouraged social interaction and political discourse, reinforcing the ideals of Republican government and communal identity. Renaissance architects in Florence were not merely builders, they were scholars and artists, drawing inspiration from the past while pushing the boundaries of the possible. Leon Battista Alberti, another towering figure of the age, wrote extensively on architecture, advocating for symmetry, proportion, and the use of classical elements. Alberti's church facades, such as that of Santa Maria Novella, combined geometric precision with decorative flourishes, integrating columns, pilasters, and pediments in ways that were both innovative and rooted in tradition. Decoration in Renaissance architecture was never arbitrary. Every element, from the smallest moldings to the grandest domes, was carefully considered to create a unified whole. Frescoes, sculptures, and reliefs adorned the interiors and exteriors of buildings, telling stories from ancient mythology, Christian faith, and civic history. These embellishments were not only beautiful, but also educational, reflecting the humanist belief in the power of art and architecture to uplift and inspire. As the Renaissance progressed, the architectural vocabulary of Florence became more refined and sophisticated. Andrea Palladio, inspired by his Florentine predecessors, would later spread these ideals throughout Italy and Europe, shaping the course of Western architecture for centuries to come. Florence's Renaissance buildings endure as living monuments to a time of extraordinary creativity and vision. Walking through its streets today, one encounters the legacy of Brunelleschi, Alberti, Michelozzo, and countless unnamed craftsmen whose hands shaped stone, wood, and marble into forms that continue to captivate the imagination. Each column, arch, and dome tells a story, not only of artistic achievement, but of a city that dared to dream, to question, and to create. In the play of sunlight on the cathedral's dome, in the quiet grace of a cloister, or the lively bustle of a piazza, the spirit of the Renaissance lives on. Florence remains an enduring testament to the power of architecture to transform a city, to inspire its people, and to express the highest aspirations of the human soul. Through its buildings, Florence invites us to rediscover the beauty of harmony, the importance of community, and the enduring value of creativity, a legacy that continues to shape our world today.